At this point, I'd like to address the amount of instruction. Um, for example, level 3 consists of materials and assignments that would be the equivalent of 11 units of credit. That equals approximately 200 hours of instruction plus homework over a 15-week period, which is the length of our semester, followed by a 2-hour final exam in each of 3 areas: grammar composition, reading, and listening speaking. So we're looking at, for levels 3 and levels 4, trying to provide students with approximately 200 hours of instruction. It does seem feasible that that could be offered in a 10-week period, 20 hours per week. That's pretty intense. You'd have to add in hours for individualized instruction in the lab and hours for completion of homework. So I know that your students are very, very dedicated and can manage with this kind of intensity. There are some questions about just how much language can be acquired in a short period of time. So I think that's one of the concerns that people have about intensive programs. But doesn't mean that we cannot be successful in our attempt. Because the courses are offered on a not-for-credit basis, students would be able to repeat any component that they would need to work on. Perhaps we'd like to build in restudy, retest after another 4-week period, so that somehow students wouldn't have to pay and enroll again in a 10-week period. If students are appropriately placed and are given the appropriate kinds of practice, the hope is that they would be able to master a certain degree, a certain level of the skills in the time given. So what we're proposing, what our program is geared towards, is about 200 hours of instruction, 20 hours per week minimum, plus homework and lab work. So I think that there's potential for success there. As we go along, we may have to develop alternative plans, but for right now, what we've planned out seems manageable. Of those 200 hours, 90 to 100 hours would be devoted to reading and vocabulary development, grammar study, with the focus of writing paragraphs, short essays, and more extensive essays. The other half of the program, the other 90 hours to 100 hours, would be half devoted to listening, speaking activities through Touchstone and academic encounters, and the other half would be devoted to reading and vocabulary. So the goal is that everything would fit together. The primary goal is for students to be able to write in an academic setting, but the overall goal is that students at a certain level would be able to participate in an academic setting and be able to improve their skills. So I guess that's all for now.